Hello.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to Live with Lauren and Bryan. I haven't done this in a long time.
It's been 4 months.
Yeah,
4 months.
we definitely didn't live here last time.
No,
that
we
we
did not.
went
I
live.
think that this is gonna fall, so we'll just.
This is our friend.
It's our Winnie until we get a Winnie.
Yeah, we're in the market for a pug here pretty soon.
Found a pug dealer.
Yeah, we got the hook on a pug dealer, which was wild when I reached out to this guy because I had no idea he knew so much about pugs.
Yes.
And man, I gave him an inch with interest of a pug, and he took a mile, to say the least, because he talked to me for about 20 minutes about pugs. And he knew a lot more than me. But
no, he was definitely okay. I got the chat up. That's what I wanted to.
yeah. But good information, like knowing about the S chromosome in pugs and how they can have, breathing defects with a certain thing that causes seizures. Which, yeah, we want to avoid that this time around.
Well, and that
for
their
sure.
Genetic line moving forward is
strong,
in alignment and
pugs.
Good.
So yeah.
But how are you guys? We missed you all.
Yeah, we did.
This is such a different setup. I just don't even know where to look. So.
Well, you look at the camera and talk to me, and then you can look at your phone for the
camera.
chat. I got to pull it up on my phone too, because we are we're decent ways away from the computer where I can't, I want to read the chat from here, but it's just.
Yeah, we'll have to pull it up.
It ain't working, but gosh, we had a little minute here. And we're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and we missed you guys, to everyone. Yeah, we just really wanted to come on here to, have you guys tell us about your Pluto, Saturn, Venus retrograde. And yeah, just how has the astrology been affecting everybody? But obviously, we'll give an update as to what we've been up to.
Yeah, I kind of gave my update. What's your update? What's up with you?
What's up?
Share a little bit about your update in the world.
Well, I feel like I've just been it's such a different vibe here. Love it. And gosh, all of Brian's just got such amazing friends. And so, yeah, this is the most, I feel like it's part of my healing journey, being here in this space, but also where we live, but just all of it, just everybody that I've come in contact with is definitely in alignment with this part of ascension that my soul is going through. And just yeah,
I really feel like this area is a vortex.
It is, and I told you that the lady that I did the angelic Reiki, she said that it is from Sacramento up to Mount Shasta, that it is a portal in a vortex. I mean, I feel all of California is, but definitely right
there's
here.
Higher concentrated spots. Yeah. I think Shasta's a very concentrated vortex. Of course, there's Sedona in Arizona, but I think Grass Valley, Nevada City is a pretty strong vortex.
I mean, it makes sense why I've felt. I mean, of course, you're my partner, and I've wanted to come either way, and Sterling and all of that, and I love your family. But I was because I'm not from a small town. Yeah. Yes, so I have had to get used to this Taurus moon. Has had to get used to a lot of.
It's a lot slower.
Yeah, a lot of patience.
You would think your Taurus moon would appreciate, but the comforts of having things right at your fingertips.
Right. Which I'm okay
It's hit or
with
miss
that.
here. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
And everybody just moves slower. So I think that's another thing getting used to is you are so from a hustle and bustle, whether it's suburbs or, Scottsdale, Phoenix area is busy. Orange County is busy. And it's just not that busy up here. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew that was the vibe either way. It's just that obviously it's more adaptable for someone that, I mean, I kind of wish that I did grow up in a a smaller town because it's like, right, all of your friends, well, not all of your friends, but a few of your friends that have like moved and then they always like come back here. It's like, right, when you're from a small town and then you go out to whether it's LA or, yeah, Scottsdale, Phoenix, I mean, anywhere, New York, Chicago, like bigger cities, it is. Because when I lived in Arizona and all these people from like smaller towns would be like, gosh, like the people are just so like bougie or judgmental. I'm like, well, that's all I know because I'm from here, you know? Like, so to me, it's yeah, I get it. But also too, like a lot of like the girls that I would meet when I would do makeup and stuff, they were just like, yeah, it's just different because I feel more like intimidated. A, because there's more people, but because like, right, like there's more like beauty around and all of this where it's not like so like low key. And it's like, well, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's like, right, if you're secure within yourself, like, but you do go from a small town to a big town, like I could see where that would be like intimidating, you know, or
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
just really out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
But I mean, this is, I've always wanted to live in a Hallmark town, and like literally even just driving today, I was like,
Especially
I
right
was
now
like,
in the
oh
fall.
my gosh, this is so,
It's like
oh,
peak
it's so beautiful.
perfect fall time here right now,
It's
and
so beautiful. It really is.
yeah,
Like,
it's good.
and
Send me one of the photos you took. Text it to me and I'll put it on the screen.
oh, okay.
But they're cool.
And
They're good.
oh, I also want to say to Alyssa Marie that we spoke the other day, but that we're sending
Oh, yeah.
amazing vibes for when you go in because she's having a baby, her first baby. I
Mm-hmm.
believe she's in the chat, and that whatever chart she gets, she gets. Because
Yeah.
Alyssa's also a projector and so knowledgeable in astrology. But right, like when we get into that, like the anxiety of astrology, it's like whatever, like it's all predestined. Whatever your
Yeah.
baby
Don't go
gets.
predicting their rising sign. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It
well, true.
can't.
And if she's
good luck.
born on 11/11, like that will just be magical and amazing. But either way, just that mom and baby are healthy, and yeah, we
Yeah,
can't
that's the
wait.
most
So,
important thing.
much love to you, Alyssa, and your little one coming your way that will probably have a Scorpio moon, and just, you know, you got to accept that.
It's good.
Oh, I did. I'll send you the picture in a second, but I also want to say, if Emily watches this, we are so grateful. Our neighbor,
Oh
Emily.
yeah, we lucked out.
Oh my gosh, she's like a soul sister, and I'm just so grateful for her. And we get our doggy fix because she has 3 dogs, and Vander, who I have a very soft spot for.
The bulldog, Bubby
He's
the
a
bulldog. He's the man.
and
He's
his
so
name's
cool.
Vander, but Lavender is like his real name, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Our biggest, like, I guess the biggest mystery when we were moving up here was we knew that there was a granny unit attached to this downstairs, and we knew that it had a tenant, but we didn't know who the tenant was.
But I said I saw a prayer flag.
Yeah, so she got a good
and
vibe,
a
but we were
bulldog.
still like, gosh,
So-
you know, and you never know what you're gonna get with like roommates, landmates, neighbors like that. So, you know, we were just definitely fingers crossed that we didn't end up with like a neighbor like we had in Orange County, because it was
She's
just a
probably
lot.
watching.
And yeah,
and
thank
just
God,
living in an
Emily's
apartment
so
complex.
she's so fucking cool. So yeah, we just lucked out with like a super.
And
cool
just like
neighbor.
even looking at her, like, gosh, just like looking at her astrology, it's like, yeah, we were definitely, especially like her and I, well, all of us, like really, like her, she's a Leo, and but definitely more Virgo. Like she's got a lot of Virgo, but she is a Leo sun. But it's just like, right, like her stuff is on my North Node, my Vertex is on her, like we're definitely, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a built-in soul sister. So, and
yeah, you guys got so tight so quick, which is great.
oh my gosh, Rochelle and Emily are like, yeah, because I'm all about quality over quantity anyways, right? You don't need to have a million.
Yeah, and I think that was something that we both lacked in Orange County was
Yeah.
friends. I mean,
Yeah,
we
well,
had
just,
some
like,
friends,
true-
but
yeah,
like
acquaintances.
We actually like, I don't know, hang out
I mean, we
and
like
do
Shannon,
stuff with people
like
now.
Shannon with a C, like
Yeah.
her and her, like, yeah, that we like aligned with in like the spiritual way. But right, like when you're on this journey, it's very hard to like connect. I mean, it's not hard to connect with like, you know, those that like the split, like 5D ascension and like 3D. But when you can connect with those souls that like get it, yeah, it's much easier.
Yeah, so that's been a super big positive.
Very much so. And we want you guys to ask us any questions you have. We're looking at the chat. Until then, we did do a kambo.
Yeah. Yesterday. Lauren's second, adventure down that path, and my first.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I don't know what I was expecting to throw up.
I feel like I can tell your energy's already like...
Oh, yeah. I was exhausted yesterday after we did it.
Yeah.
Like, I took a nap when we got home, and I pretty much didn't want to, like, leave the couch.
Yeah, but, like, you're supposed to have forward momentum.
Today, I woke up really in, like, a good mood, and I had one of my best days trading today.
Yeah.
And just this week, the progress with that has been, like, a blessing, because I've been busting my ass to get good at that, and with like success and then back, and then it's just like very I don't know, it took I guess one of the good things is I feel like I have the right personality type for it, because I can go through the ups and downs without going on tilt emotionally. But yeah, I mean, there were definitely times where I was like, wow.
Well, I know. I think that Aries rising and all that Capricorn and wants it right now. And it's like, if trading was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Well, I had to learn a strategy in the market, because I know enough about how price moves that I can absolutely trade it. But I was trying to trade something that was a lot slower. And, oh my God, it did get to me, because I would wait 2 hours, 3 hours in the morning for a trade and then take the trade. And if I lost that trade, then I was like I was definitely trying to revenge trade the rest of the morning and like force my way into the market, which would just not be ideal. Pretty much gambling at that point. So now I have found a strategy that I'm trading on a 15-second candle chart, and I'm in and out of trades in less than a minute. If I'm in a trade longer than a minute, I'm like, I should probably get out of this trade.
Yeah.
And it's just been a lot more fun and fits my personality, because I want to be in it when I'm in it. So I finally found a way to do that, and that's been really great too.
Like tapped into that vortex lately.
Yeah, and I think the kambo, I don't know, just everything from the intention, because that was part of the intention. It's important to set the intention with that, of course, like any healing that you go into, and it really was that I felt very like stuck and blocked from my own growth and progression and the things that I'm trying to take the next step towards and go after. So really it was to release what that is, because I don't have like a great idea of what it is, but I know there's something, and I need to, get rid of that and start going forward, because I mean, really, like the last 3 months has been, it's been weird for me, because I'm usually very good at getting ahead, making it happen, hitting goals, growing, and I did feel like that was a very difficult thing for me over the last couple months.
Well, I mean, babe, like, listen, we're so transparent, and like that's the other thing. It's like I've been wanting to do this, but like I know that, right, like Brian needed to take a break. And listen, like I've said this from the beginning, like we were in our love bubble, like literally. And I think, and again, everything happens how it's supposed to. We were meant to have that time together to really, like, we were connecting on every level. But of course, I knew that when we moved, it's like we're going into reality, not only just because it's a new space and all of that, but like, right, like balancing sterling and creating abundance, and right, like I was so used to just it being Brian and I, right? So it's like now me and this little magical Sag.
Yeah, and he's like, a lot, he's...
Well, I know, and we're both like, we're like... Yeah.
So it's like, a big difference having him around 50% of our time together.
He is so, gosh, he's just so animated. And, he's 6.
He's such a Sag, too,
Yeah. And listen,
so
it's
much
a sensitive
energy.
Generation. Anything with Neptune and Pisces, they're sensitive.
Yeah,
but
and
they're
Chiron.
like... Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Like, it's it's just so finding that balance. I really feel like we didn't really need to have any balance when we were in Southern California. And so, and listen, I got so much Libra that I'm like, balance, like I'm all about it, like let's go. I was thinking the other day, I couldn't even imagine if like, babe, because we would be moving like right now if we didn't move when we did. And I cannot even imagine going through all the initiations that we did now, like going into that versus when we did. And it absolutely was not easy. I mean, but thank God I have such a grounded partner to be like, we're gonna get through this. And I'm like, I mean, I have no doubt about that. It's just that, right, we were all adapting to, right, like getting into not only a routine with Sterling, but just like,
it felt like we got thrown into the fire a little bit from
but
where
I
we
feel
were.
like we were, I feel we had to, like, love bubbling it up. And then it's like, all right. But that's what I think is so beautiful about a healing journey with a partner, is because, yeah, it's so easy to just like give up and be like, fuck this. And it's like so much more, like that is what a partnership is about. I have this thing that I'll read at the end that I saw, this guy wrote it, and I was like, right, this is like when we were doing our kambo yesterday, and she was like, you know, you guys are healing together, like it's beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know that, but her saying that, it was like, right, like I can't imagine doing it with any other partner. But the fact that, because like, right, we can be spiritual and you could be like, I'm not fucking doing that shit, like I'm not gonna like, I'm not down with that. But it was like, no, that we both did it together and like shared that experience. Because I do know, like, moving forward, it does, it like opens you. It's just, I mean, kambo is so great either way. It like purifies your body.
Yeah.
But it's like a reset. But literally, it takes out any panema is what they call it. So, right, like, listen, we have talked about this before. Like, dark energy can attach to you in any way that it. But also out. I really think, like, for me, what I had said in that was like, when we were setting our intentions, it was like, I'm fucking with the South Node on my Pluto right now. I'm like, I am fucking ready to let anything for the past 42 years. It's like, this is our home. Like, this is our journey. Like, that I don't need to be in fear of anything from the past. Like, it's like letting any outdated thinking of how I think relationships should be or go. It's like, yeah, let's like, goodbye.
Yeah, totally.
Like, just new, like, it, I really feel like yesterday was such a new beginning.
Great.
It was beautiful.
It really was a purge, because, yeah, I feel so much lighter. So much just, I just feel...
clarity. More like clarity to, like, moving forward. I feel much better.
So I feel like it's going to help with content on this channel, because, I mean, I'll be honest, like... Yeah, I don't necessarily want to do a horoscope every day, but I do want to put content out here. But I do have a little bit of a block of like, well, what do I want to put content out about? You know, I have some ideas, but, you know, part of me feels like it's all been said before. So it's like, I don't know, you know, so I feel like I'm going to figure out how that goes here real soon too.
I think that it should just be like a small, like how people on Patreon do, like, it's like a membership thing that's obviously affordable for everyone, but like where that the souls that want that content, or a daily horoscope, or even if it's a weekly horoscope, that you put it into one. Because, right, like, you built this business all on your own, and like you're following, this is what I told him. I was like, when I had my like Reiki thing, I was like, you did this. And you can do this in trading because people need your light. Like, they do. They need you're not spreading fear. You're not, like, you are meant to do this. You're a teacher. You are a teacher. And to have, like, such a loyal following, that really does, it's just really beautiful. So I just feel that it's not about a number or anything like that. It's like,
I'm grateful so many people stuck around, you know, kind of like, mind-blowing and humbling in its own way.
Yeah, and that we do. I mean, of course, the goal for both of us is to do our own things individually, to be able to come together to do gratitude like readings. Like we want to help everybody, like, and give, like, right, gratitude readings, whatever it is, or information, or answer questions, or whatever. That it's not about, like, it's the abundance of exchanging that energy, because it's just our gifts that we're sharing with all of you guys and your gifts. So it's like, but yeah, of course we have to live in this 3D Saturn reality. So wherever we can create that in other areas, then of course, like, that is always the goal.
Yeah.
That always has been the goal.
Well, I'm curious if you comment in the chat, or, leave a comment on this video if you watch later. But if I made a membership on this channel for daily horoscopes, would you want that? Is that worth it to you? Let me know.
If it's like $555 a month,
I'll digest the feedback, and maybe I would do that.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see what people say.
Right. I mean, we can only know from what you guys would, what you guys would want. And what else? Give us your astro questions, guys. How is Venus retrograde in Leo for everybody? Like, I have felt a shift, even though Saturn just went direct, but, like, we got through that. I totally didn't even realize that we moved during that. And man, I mean, Saturn's all up in my 7th house for the next 2 years. And I did look at some asteroids that I was going to touch on, but I don't have them pulled up. But, like, Pandora and Karma are in Pisces, like, for the whole year. That's kind of fucking crazy. So wherever that hits for anybody's chart, but it's definitely really crazy for me because it's all up in my 7th, the Saturn, and but what is Saturn, right? Like, it matures you. It's responsibility. It's, I mean, sure, we could say karma and all that, but everything is, karma. I think you need to be realistic. Weekly horoscopes and pay membership with that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that doing, too, a daily horoscope, that's something you get, like, that is something that you just get burnt out on. It's like a different content, too. Sure, with trading or, like, new moons, full moons, like, I don't know, right? Everybody, it's like almost getting very Aquarius with, like, the content and doing something that is unique and different. And I mean, I told him from the beginning, I was like, if you can incorporate the astrology with trading, like, boom. I mean, and we really do want, when we're divinely guided to our magical pug, I don't even know if like, we would call her Rosie.
Yeah, we
want
a girl pug.
And then she would be like a horoscope, like.
Yeah, I think Lauren's gonna make like content, like pug
for Rosie.
Pug content.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, she'll be a little philosopher pug.
Yeah, she'll be a hermetic pug.
Yeah.
And animals just bring so much joy to the house, and gosh, Sterling would just, like, die.
Oh my gosh.
He's the one who came up with Rosie. Much. I know, but he really loves pugs. Well, because him and Winnie had such a special connection. But just
Astro trading. Yeah. It's funny. Of course, I've thought about combining the two, but the way I trade right now is so scalpy and quick that I don't know. Nothing in astrology moves fast enough, like, for what I'm doing. As far as investing goes, like, if I was going to invest or buy stock or maybe a crypto or something, I would for sure do the astrology on it. Because there is correlation with, like, retrogrades and planets ingressing and full moons and new moons. Like, it does do stuff to the market, but on a more macro scale, if you will. What I'm doing is just, like, 5 handles here, 5 handles there, and in the NASDAQ, which will move 100 handles in, 20 minutes or less, at times. So I just have to kind of separate it, but I'm still thinking about doing lives in the morning when I come up here and, like, trading a little bit and talk some astrology and trade, and I don't know. I don't know. If I get good enough and start really making it with that, I would happily teach that too, and at least share what I'm doing so people can practice and try if they want, at the very least. Idea. Brian, if you did monthly membership and have a live monthly that you and Lauren did, the free vibe off the cuff chart reading to the members, that would be incredible. Okay.
Yeah, see, this is like,
Okay.
we want suggestions from, like, this is why.
That's a good idea.
Like, I told Brian, I was just like, well, because I'm in the process, which it's been a process because I'm a projector, so I need to take time for that. With Showpiece Vintage, my online shop boutique that I'm creating, but times the Divine Decoder. Because, like, honestly, I could sit here all day, and I might even start doing more stuff on my channel, like, and talk about astrology, but really it's just kind of like, what does anybody want to ask me? Like, I do, because I'm always like, what's my purpose?
Yeah, Lauren wants
But
the
my
questions,
purpose
because
is-
if you ask anything,
I just
you'll get
love
an
it.
answer.
I just
So,
love
like,
it.
yeah.
Even like the weird, like, yeah, like, you know me, I'm into asteroids, the vertex, the anti-vertex, the yods, you know, I'm always trying to decode that one. Since mine are always, they've been so, well, it's
Everybody
heavily
since
activated
the dawn
right now.
of time wants to decode the
I
old
know.
yod.
And even somebody with two, it's like, I don't
Everybody
know,
wants
it's
to
my
know
last
everybody
incarnation.
wants to know what God's pointing to. What's this finger?
Well, it's my moon in the ninth, so that's where really I was like, it's just to talk, it's to talk about, right, like the higher, it's, listen, I love synastry and relationship synastry because, God, it's just, especially in dynamics that are already together. But of course, when people are coming in or coming out, or they're like, fuck, that was so faded, and it's like, yeah, let's look. It's like, it's just even so crazy. I was talking to Alyssa the other day, who's in the chat, like, about, she was asking, like, where Brian and Sterling's moon are, and I'm like, they all got Aquarius moons. And then it's like, but when you, like, start putting it together, it's like, first of all, Sterling and Brian, like, what are they teaching me in the 5th house? Because my vertex, they're both Saturn and Pluto. Brian's the Saturn, Sterling's the Pluto. Like, what are you, like, literally on top? It's like, yeah, and just like when we look at our composite, and it's like,
Oh, our composite's fucking...
Well, and our composites get
getting
fucking rocked
blasted
right now. Like, we'll be honest
Yeah.
about that. Uranus is
Yeah.
all over our square and all our shit. But it's just like liberating us to, like, do things like differently in our own way. But, you know, it's wild.
What's up, Prides?
But
Nice
yeah,
to see you, bro.
it's just like, it doesn't lie, right? Like, when we came together, we were in our composite nodal return, like, to the exact degree when we started, you know, dating. And it's just, so I love that stuff. I love decoding that stuff for people, you know? And it's like, yeah, I can never tell you, is it gonna last or anything like that, but I can tell you that it was definitely faded, and that what you're feeling is real, and that that's what it's about. It's not about, like, to obsess about what'll happen, but that it's something that is, like, sacred and faded. And, you know, that this is, I think that so many souls are coming online into those divine, like, you know, partnerships, or just even, like, soul tribes and stuff, for a reason, because the ascension is, like, it's just heightened. Like, it's so heightened. And being in that Reiki class, and I honestly didn't even, I mean, of course, I don't think anything's bullshit, but I was just like, Reiki, they don't even touch you and everything. But then one night I was like, I didn't know that Brian had gone through, like, the first and second whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, heal me. I was like, do it on me. And so I just, like, tried to get really relaxed. But I was like, oh my God, you are a healer. You have healing hands. Like, I could feel the heat. Like, I was just like, this is so wild. Oh my God. And then the Reiki that I'm doing now, or like learning and going through the process, is Ascendant Master and Angelic Reiki, which I definitely like. Pisces, like I'm like, oh my gosh, and it is. I mean, it's so healing, and so it makes you just feel so protected and safe. Like it really does. So
yeah, the first time I got it too, I was sold. It's kind of like once you feel that, you're like, oh.
It's a gift. Like you either have it or you don't. Like.
And then the first attunement was huge for me. Like that changed my life, and
those
I can tell too. After you've gone, you've had a bunch of, big changes too. That and the kambo. I mean, it's pretty amazing how fast some of these things can really like start showing, their effects in a positive way.
Oh, absolutely. We are just having a human experience.
Yeah. It ain't going to be, it ain't meant to be perfect or pretty 24/7.
It's right. And we're like, we just want to, it's, I don't know. It's just the biggest thing for me is just integrating my shadow in such a different way than I ever have before. And whether that's the disillusionment of the ego, the dismantling of it, or if it's just literally, instead of, I always sought things outside of myself and wanted to be desired and all this shit, that I'm like, I don't even resonate with that anymore, but I do have this passionate, I mean, all of my draconic shit is scorpionic. I'm like, where do I put it? And it's like into creative, like that's where you put it, into creative things, and our family life, and just like that's been, I guess, the biggest change is that I'm like, how do I integrate it? Because you have to have your shadow, you have to integrate it. You know what I mean? Like, but it's when it's your shadow is like, obviously,
when it's calling the shots, that's a little detrimental.
Well, very.
A little abrasive to other people.
That's like the old self.
Yeah, abrasive to ourselves, of course, but right. It becomes self-sabotaging, and it's easy to get in that. And we've all been there. Trust me.
It's the only way to do it.
Kif is so funny. She was like, decode the men I'm currently attracting. It's crazy. That's what you got to decode.
Yeah. Let's decode it. Let's decode it.
When we did her chart, we told her that. What'd she say? You told me when I did the live about watch out for the guys, and damn, we did. I remember saying that.
Oh, so Kathy, funny. My channel is the Divine Decoder, and I just did start a new Instagram, starting from scratch. So, because that was very much needed. Like, the number isn't I don't care about that. Even if it was like 5 people that like really resonated with what I was putting out, but I think, again, that was part of my shadow a long time ago, that I'm like, it has to be a certain number, and and it isn't. It's like, I just want people, if you resonate with our gifts and our wisdom and whatever that we're sharing with others that are obviously on this path, then I'm here. I am here to just kind of like give it away and just talk about it, because that's really what really does make me feel so like just grateful, and like why I'm here. You know what I mean? So it's the Divine Decoder on Instagram and YouTube, and you could probably put it in the. I don't know,
if you follow me on Instagram, I put a story up for this live.
Oh, yeah.
And I did tag her new account, so if you want.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to start using that more.
I'll
be honest, I'm still like not sure about the old IG. Maybe I'll get back on there someday, but I'm really not there. So I apologize if you've messaged me and I'm not seeing things. I'm literally not opening the app. She sent me a friend request on her new account, and I just accepted, like, and she was like, yo, and I was like, I mean, I haven't.
This is your moon. It, like, listen, you have so much Aquarius, it can detach, and as it's meant to, but it's also to come together.
I am so much happier off social media. I know. It doesn't make me feel any type of way.
I know.
other than usually I'm just like, sometimes it's just like,
No, it's just, I think that when I was in that Reiki, I was like, babe, I just kept hearing, when I should have just been like focusing on myself, it was like, if he creates the content, they will come. But it's not even about they will come, like they're there and they do need your light and your positive message. And yeah. And how many loyal people you had that did stay, and like that's
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to keep this channel
of course
going.
Yeah. I know, exactly, Miss Kiff. I know, and I don't anymore, but that was part of my shadow that I had to, like break away from. That it's really quality over quantity, 100%. Like my Taurus moon knows that. And that I want people that just really like resonate, and vice versa, because at the end of the day, it's all an energetic, we're sharing energy. And so you do want to be in alignment with that, especially if it's online, like.
Oh, and also speaking of that, we are still constructing Lauren's website, Cosmic Babe. Thanks for checking it out, but it's not.
Yes.
It's not done yet.
I know. I really do plan on getting that down. I know this is the problem of being a Pisces projector, because I'm just like, the problem is the Virgo stuff that I'm like, oh my God, want it a certain way when I have to like kind of let that stuff go. And like, I know that Brian is going to put it all together beautifully, and he already has. It's just that I need to, we need
prices and stuff.
Yes.
Hey, Steph.
But I have a goal.
Nice to see you.
I have a goal, so I just need to stick to that. But yeah.
It is a good start. Appreciate that.
Thank you. We had to like get it up and like.
Yeah, we needed to make it live for something, because we were trying to do some markets around town, and they really wanted a website, so we kind of just had to just bootleg that one real quick.
And we did. We like have this market that we're going to. It's called Rebel Market, and we've like set up a little booth, and then we do it on this coming Sunday, and Brian's gonna slang some readings, some mini readings, and so I don't know. It's just like it is. It's like it's just so beautiful. We get to do it together, babe.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Good vibes. So
what do you
I don't know. Have you looked at this full moon at all?
Oh yeah, talk about the full moon, babe.
Have you pulled up the chart?
Is there a full moon coming?
I'm sorry, new moon. The new moon in Scorpio.
Like, didn't we just have a eclipse?
Well, there is one, coming in a few weeks. But no, the new moon. Do you have any thoughts on it? It's at 20 degrees Scorpio.
Ooh, I don't have anything there, huh? No. My Persephone. I will say, though, Persephone and Goddess Isis Set, Egyptian goddess and Persephone of the underworld, and Hathor, who's Egyptian, those asteroids are all traveling together in Scorpio right now, which is like really powerful goddess energy. So if you have that also anywhere in your chart in Scorpio that it's conjuncting anything, like manifest with those goddesses. Persephone, the asteroid is number 399. Isis, Aset, the Egyptian goddess, is 42, and Hathor, I believe, is 2340. So, I don't know. That's a lot of powerful Oh, and I believe Kali is maybe in the mix, too. But either way, those are the three that I want to touch on. Zeus is in the galactic center right now. Yeah, he's all up in that galactic center.
Seems like a place Zeus would like to be.
Yeah, for sure. But talk about, November 13th. All right. Take it away, babe.
It's a pretty wild, like, lunation. Lunations, of course, are always, starting of the energy. So this is really kicking off Scorpio season, of course. And it's kind of kicking it off in a pretty fucking Uranian way. Like, there's Mars that has just finished up the opposition to Uranus, retrograde in Taurus. The sun is right there. The moon's going to hit it that same day. I mean, it's a lot of energy in opposition to Uranus, so I feel like there is absolutely big regeneration that is going to come from this. Now, does this mean that we could feel like there's an ending to a beginning here? Very likely. It's likely that there's some change taking place that we didn't really see coming, and it's important to know that it's positive in a sense that it's going to accelerate us very rapidly to where we hopefully want to go, but again, our wants and what we need aren't always the same things. And I think this one does highlight that. We're going to get accelerated somewhere, and it could feel like out of left field or from the other side, that we weren't expecting. But I think it's very alchemical. It's definitely has a healing element to it, but it can feel abrasive over the next 30 days. And I feel like it's a big acceleration into the regeneration that I think many of us are going for. And I had a client earlier before we went live here, and her and I even touched a little bit on how it just seems like there's so many of us that are really going through this regeneration process, and
yes.
really, the person and the things that of the past are definitely not where things are going, and we've all had to kind of like sit in this, and I feel like this can kind of feel like that energy's coming back, or really just in our face, that like it's obvious. It's almost like you couldn't bypass it if you tried. It's so obvious that the changes have been made, and you're going to start to see where they're taking you. So I feel like that's a big part of this Scorpio season, and really the new moon.
Well, I mean, this doesn't have to do with that, but it does, because like the axis of Aries in Libra, like you said a long time ago, I always remember this with
Natalie,
the South Node in Libra. It's like relationship void, like if it's not
Contract, void.
in alignment
with, I think
like
this is really showing that
to your like soul purpose, right? Like the healing journey within yourself, and very important.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing to really understand and know is we're North Node Aries.
Yeah.
We just had eclipses. So
Yeah.
this cycle is really, in these nodes, like they're really full force now, and it's important to know that our relationships can absolutely be there, but if you're not kind of in control of your life, I feel like that's where this is going to really show you, like, you got to take direction. You got to take control. You got to make the calls and the decisions, and make sure that you're pioneering your life some way forward, because otherwise you could really be someone else's puppet in a way. And I feel like that just makes it hard. Makes it hard to be yourself. So this is interesting. I feel like it's definitely lighting up a lot of our desires, because of course it's Scorpio season.
A lot
and,
of shadow work,
Mars
though,
here
too,
with the new moon. I mean, you should definitely be feeling passionate and driven about where you want to go, at least what the goal is, and where you think things are heading. Because if that's not there, you're gonna get rerouted, and I think it's just good to know that right now. Like, you have to go where you think you're supposed to go, or where you feel you're supposed to go. You do not want to be, someone's puppet, someone's, just got to make decisions for yourself right now. And I think you have to merge with really the right energy that wants to see you take control of your life, wants to see you go where you want to go.
And support
that.
Supports
that's
you.
important. But if it's manipulating you, some other way, you gotta pay attention to that. Because that could get messy with this, with the astrology right now. It really could.
Absolutely. And I mean, Scorpio season is like always deep. Like, isn't Pluto still I guess
Pluto's
he's not
28.
he's not squaring the nodes anymore. But I mean,
it's a wide square.
Yeah.
But Mars is going to start making good aspects to Pluto. North Node's about to conjunct Chiron.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of healing in
Yeah.
really finding ourselves right now, and I think that's part of the regeneration. You know, we're really there's a lot of self transformation and growth that's going on right now, and it can feel hard. It can definitely feel,
Oh.
you know, dark night of the soul type vibes.
Oh yeah.
There's definitely
And
that. I mean, but think about Saturn too. Like Saturn and Mercury are squaring for this lunation too.
Yeah.
So I think like having a strong mind is so important right now, and keeping a good mindset, because I think it could be easy to really, you know, kind of like defeat yourself mentally before you've even gone into, you know, whatever the challenge or battle is that you need to go into in life. You can kind of like, you can, what's the word? There's gonna be a lot of like mental self undoing,
Right.
because you could feel like there's just no way, or that mindset I think has to go. Like it's got to be determined mindset with a vision, with like a, you know, purpose, and you know, if there's something important to say it. You definitely don't want to hold back.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a go all in on your transformation time, because the acceleration it's going to be big. I feel like we are in a big,
It's like
accelerated,
collectively-
transformative, you know, time right now. And I think that's something that's very cool about this energy, because I'm into that shit.
Well, yeah, and Scorpio
I go get frog
season should
poison,
always,
you know, with you,
yeah.
and, you know, throw
And
up
how
everywhere.
Scorpio, right?
Well, it's really
like, but also it was a Virgo moon, like very
Yeah.
healing. But like Scorpio season it's like
I like
the
that,
deepest
liberating.
part
This
of
is
you.
like deeply liberating for yourself, and defining, you know, the person you are, or the person you want to be, and not making it some, you
not
know,
holding on to any energy that's not in alignment, because
Right.
then you can't, how can anything, like energetically, even if you're holding on to it or hoping something from the past, or that like nothing, how can anything new come in, even if you're just energetically holding on to that? It doesn't even have to be like physically, but I mean, you have to. And like my guide and the teacher with that Reiki, she was like, you know, dark night of the soul, it's like for everyone that's truly on the awakening and ascension path, like you don't get to bypass the dark night of the soul. And a lot of people think there's many. No, it's just there's one.
There's no time
but it
limit.
can go like
no
for
time limit.
years. You know, it's really, because it is wanting you to let go of all of that. Just even like residual energy, right? Like when we like talk about like homes and all the shows that we watch, like I don't think in our home that there's anything negative or malefic, but there is a lot of residual energy from past people that have lived here, from like it's residual, and too of like the land, and there's so much history here. Like you, especially if you're sensitive or an empath or anything, like tapped into the collective unconscious or conscious or whatever, like you can feel that and you take that on. So it's like, that's why it is so important to not only do your own shadow work, but right, like when you're doing your own healing, it collectively does heal. Like it really does. Like when you're
that
sending
resonates
out,
and vibrates out so
Yes.
much more
Yes.
than people realize.
Oh my gosh, so much.
Like the help for the collective, because we're all connected, whether we know it or not. And your vibration matters. So, you know, it's important.
Absolutely.
You know what's crazy? Is there's a golden yod from the new moon to Juno to
Ooh.
Chiron, with Chiron being
Oh wow.
the apex point.
And so yeah.
And Juno and Virgo.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, with the South Node in Libra and coming off Pluto square the nodes, and even coming into Pluto in Aquarius for the second time that we're coming up on, People are so important. Venus is in Libra. It's actually making a biquintile over to Saturn for this too. So there's like really special energy when it comes to people and acceptance, but there's also you still got to go your way. If you got to like accept but be able to set boundaries. It's Scorpio season. There's a new moon in Scorpio. So important that you're around the right energy or I think we could all really have the opportunity to miss something special with that energy because I think it's very important. So can't be just merging with anybody. I feel like it's got to be selective. It has to be on the vibe. It has to make sense. It has to be going in the same direction. It almost has to be in some ways at the same place on the healing journey. Um, Interesting, to say the least.
I think that, yeah, I was replying in the chat because I did put my IG under showpiece vintage, but then I changed it to the divine decoder, so I hope that it did. But either way, it's in you tagged it in your story, so it'll be up on there.
Yeah, it was
if anybody
showpiece.
wants to find it. It is the energy. I think so many souls are like ascending. They are like the teacher said, or the guide in my Reiki, she said that there was a split. Now, whether she is, downloading this from her guides, like she's literally like tapped into the angelic realm, that it was like a split in February of this year where it was like, right, like 5D and 3D and like, right, love and light to those that we can't like bring that just aren't, whether they're not going to ascend or they're just not ready at this time. It's like, right, everybody is on a journey to walking themselves back home to themselves. Like that's how I really feel, to your true self. And that process, like I always am like, oh, I can really feel it. Like I'm in my true self. And then it's like, I'll be fucking triggered by something. And it's like, boom, ego, like fucking, okay, wait. And we all go through that. But like, we really are walking ourselves back home to ourself, like our true self.
That's
and
well said.
You are coming in contact with, right, like soul tribes, and like others. It's a frequency. It's and that's why she was even saying with like passed on loved ones, like they're there, it's just it's a different frequency that when you get tapped into that, like it flows, right? But it's you're also tapped into the unconscious and the collective to where it can be too much, so you don't even know sometimes if like how you're feeling, if it is yours or not. And so that's why it is so important that when you are healing yourself and you're just like like I say this every morning, I'm like transmuting the fear into faith, the grief grief into gratitude, the pain into power, and the karma into dharma. Mm-hmm. Like just saying that is like just powerful. And like just knowing that, yeah, I mean, we literally are all connected through here, but energetically. And that's why it's just so important to be connected to the right energy in this 3D reality, but also with what we're consuming, you know what I mean? With other like healers and shamans and whatever it is. It's like I feel you're called to it for a reason. Like it's not a coincidence. It's when we're like the kambo person that we were guided to, like they just happened to be down the street, but like definitely was in alignment. Like from the first experience that I had. And it was like she was holding space for us and she was amazing. And like just with anything, like I can Google anything and I can read a bunch, but there'll be one that I'm like, no, I resonate with that. Like, for some reason, I'm resonating with that energy. And it was like that with the Reiki lady. Like, she came out and I just immediately, I was like, I was like, girl, you gotta be like, you're a Taurus or a Libra. She's like, I'm a Taurus. I'm like, yeah, my moon. It's like, and that the other girl, it was me and only one other girl. She was a Taurus moon. And I was like, okay, we were all meant to like come together. And I just, it's really how it works, but trusting it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that, trusting it.
The whole story is very, very fitting for this new moon.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is gosh, the more I look at this chart, I'm like, this is a very strong lunation, a very strong new moon. The ruler of the south node, Venus, is with Venus, or it's with the south node. It's in its home sign of Libra. It's dignified. The ruler of the north node in Aries is Mars, dignified, at home in Scorpio with the new moon. Very, very strong for exactly that. Like, the importance of relationships, the importance of the vibration. You're guided to people for a reason. The transformation is definitely for you, but it involves others. Like, we just can't discount right now, because the south node is in Libra, that the importance of other people. I just think it's really important. And Scorpio is about merging too. And merging with people on the direct, going the same way. It's not about turning someone around, saying, you have to come with me. Definitely not that. But like, man, with the tribe energy that has like the same values and so important. And just Pluto squaring the nodes, which we've gone through this whole year.
Yeah.
Because
intense.
Because the south node was the last node to cross over Pluto, the south node is very important in this transit that we're going through. So just don't discount the relationships and the people in your life. Some are going to fade away, more are going to come in, and the ones that are there, that are on, they're going to, this is where things get more powerful. So I want to mention that, because I think it's crucial. And even Jupiter and Juno, are in trine. It's important. Merging with the right energy that is supportive and gets it, and then you're supportive and you get their journey. And because when or if something shakes things up to get you somewhere, the people that are already on with you, they're going to get it, and the ones that aren't.
I wanted to touch on, I feel like Steph said that Uranus is squaring her Venus, because I'm pretty sure she has her Venus in Leo. That could still be a passionate vibe, though. I mean, listen, if you are in a relationship, well, I mean, babe, Uranus is squaring our fucking...
You kind of don't know.
Venus in our composite, and trust me, we have felt more Uranus energy since we've moved here than we ever have. But I mean, we have a lot of it.
You might start being more attracted to a different kind of person. I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, Uranus works.
The square
and
just
that
requires
transit.
act. Like, really, it's like, right? It's like action.
Yeah, it's like
too.
this is happening whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So,
right. It's kind of, it can be many things.
Like, I feel like you have to do something with a trine. Like, trines I feel like you consciously want to use.
No, that's divine flow. That's easy.
Trines
Sextile requires some work.
You'll have a trine going on in your chart, and if you don't know it, you wouldn't even know it.
I know, and that's why I'm like, gosh,
I can't even, think of, I mean, just trines they're cool. You just don't really realize it, because everything's kind of going your way, so you're like, cool. Squares, things can go your way with squares, especially if you act upon them, and you kind of, whether you know it or not, when you get that, because it almost brings up a fear. It almost starts with, a doubt, oh, I've never done this before. But then you do it, and that's when, new levels unlock.
Yes, I agree with that.
So, I mean, for relationships with Venus, could be a new way of making money. Could be a new way of expressing yourself, of showing yourself, of relating. Could be a whole new archetype of person. All of a sudden, there's an attraction there. or somebody that you never
Something
thought
different.
would show up could show up. Just
I do think with Uranus squaring and Venus, absolutely, it can still bring things in for sure. It's just Uranus energy, right? Like it can bring in. I mean, gosh, we have a friend that lives here, and God, his chart, and he's so funny, and we love him, but like he has Sun North Node Taurus, and and he's got his Venus in Aries, so that the North Node will be hitting that soon. But like he has met like a lot of people, but then like met one that he really connects with, and it was so Uranian. And then he's like, yeah, no, I'm like really into her, but now that's like faded off, like the like initial like. But that's what Uranus is, right? It's like this initial like.
It's electric.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Doesn't mean that it's going to be, it is exciting. It doesn't mean that there's got to be other factors for it to like, make it stable. I feel like I don't feel like we have a lot of we have a lot of Uranus energy transiting going on, but our relationship is definitely more Saturn, which I'm not used to, but now like I see the beauty in that, because it's like, yeah, if Brian's not in alignment with something, I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. And I'm like, what? Oh, what? I'm sorry, what? Like, so I do. I was like, gosh, yeah. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I do need earth energy, like earth and water, right? Like they go together, because I feel like all my relationships prior were like with, Cancers. And it's like you get two water signs together, and it's deep, but then it can become so manipulative, because you're just like,
better be a strong swimmer.
It can be very, very manipulative, and you're just like, you're trying to gain this like power through that, and it's not healthy. Even though it's a deep connection, it's like, okay, I need something. I do need something to ground me. So got the mystical sea goat here that, earth energies really are like they you need them to ground you and to bring you back down to
Lauren was funny last night.
reality.
She was like, it's only, it's real, Scorpio, sure, it's a water sign, but really Pisces and Cancer are water. Like they're the crab and the fish. They're the only two signs that are actually in the water. And I was like, not true. It's like Capricorn. She's like, what? That's a goat. Like it's a sea goat.
It is, yeah. And then you Google all the I was like, let me Google this. I gotta Google the mythology.
People forget it's the sea goat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Babe,
that's what it is.
And it's so crazy, right? Because like it makes sense, because my vertex is Capricorn and my anti-vertex is Cancer. So it's like, oh, this makes sense. It's like, right, I'm not supposed to be in something that is like sure, it's emotional, but like stable. To be like, can you pull yourself out of your fucking Pisces, like everything that you're like imagining going on, like if it doesn't play out that way, you've got to like be okay. It's like, what?
Yeah, Scorpio's different water. Yeah, Scorpio's like boiling water in a cauldron.
Well, this is just like the same like conversation that I was having with Alyssa when she was just like, what do you think like would be, and I'm like, I'm not going to say any signs more manipulative, but coming from a Pisces that was in her shadow for a fucking very long time, I would say that water signs are, because they can be very emotionally manipulative. Yeah, I mean, they can, or mutable signs.
Majority of the time, manipulation is an emotional thing.
Yeah.
Like you're pulling on somebody's feels
something from it
to get something, and
because you just get so deep and in. Yeah, it just, you gotta have, right? Earth and water, like you gotta have water to like.
Yeah, the earth won't grow without water.
Yeah, but you get too much water and you drown. You drown.
And sometimes with the two, you just get mud.
And that's why I do, but like I feel like
everything.
Because you could be, right, a fire sign, but be water dominant. Like that's the other thing. It just depends on your chart. Like, do you like, what did we do on my thing? Like, I don't know what I was
Sometimes,
looking
sometimes the house that your Pluto is in,
Yeah.
like if it's in a fire house, earth, water, air, sometimes that will make you more of that element than you would think. You might have a ton of water in
Yeah.
your chart, but you got a Pluto in the first house or the fifth house. Like you could definitely present yourself with way more fire.
Well, I was saying that my signature was Gemini. I was like, what? Because I have so much mutable energy in my
Yeah.
chart, and that mine would be Gemini. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I, c- I mean, I don't know. I guess I can kind of see that, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can accept that right now.
I don't know. I think
I think you were Capricorn because you have so much cardinal energy
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
I'm
like
definitely
it was like
yeah.
Capricorn was your signature.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the hell did mine go from a Pisces to like but it's just because it
I
was the
think you're-
element we
yeah,
were
you're
looking
very
at.
mercurial.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm trying to work on aligning to be more in my heart center, which Kambo also really does like open. It's supposed to open your heart center, your heart chakra, and it's really just yeah. I can already just see like a yeah like I mean, babe, you're always happy, but like I guess like the energy like today with the trading, but just like overall like
Well, yeah, I mean, just
it's
this week, I just
forward.
felt like I did, like I broke through.
Yeah.
It felt like I had a breakthrough.
And
So.
that is what they say because like a lot of people that do Cambo, it's like if even if they've just done it one time, they feel like this whatever the weight was or this dark cloud or a lot of people that have had addictions like opiate addictions, alcohol, whatever the addiction, that is why they do it because it literally is medicine. I mean, it is medicine. Um, that they felt like a few days after they're like, oh my god, they had a lot more energy and they just felt like more clear like
Yeah,
of
definitely.
moving
That's
forward
exactly
like
how I feel.
yeah like there's been some like energetic block like has dissipated, so we highly recommend it to anybody that
Yeah, it was worth it. I mean, it is a little uncomfortable.
yeah
I
because you
don't
gotta
think anybody
purge.
likes to, throw up.
You gotta get it
But
out. You gotta
yeah, it's
get it
good.
out. But it's just so, it like literally like reset. Like, if anything, my Virgo rising loves that. It's like, okay, it like purifies your blood and just, it is very, very healing.
Yeah. Well, any last thoughts?
Um, should put mergoats represent.
Mergoats.
Yeah, no, oh, hi, Lana. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lana.
Hi, everybody.
No, I'm just so glad that because I'm like, let's do a live. Well, because I just love to do this. I love to connect. It's like the only really, it's not even just about an outlet. It's just, I mean, it is. Like, I tell him that I've never been really able because like right as a project and whether that's me as a projector or whatever, like you're supposed to come in with something that's already been like created and like help guide, and it's just if I had the following, but like it's not just about the number. Again, it's like I feel like your tribe just really resonates with you and like they
Yeah.
need that light and your energy and how you deliver it, and so that I'm so grateful to be able to like be a part of it and share that with you, but that it's just important, and that we all need to take a break energetically and spiritually and all of that, because it was getting to a point where like right everybody's like, oh my god, I got this in my chart, and I'm so guilty like that. He's like, how many people have had Pluto on there that like, and they're good, and I'm like, yeah. And so I'm guilty of this where I love astrology so much. It's our language, right? But that, yeah, it can go to the shadow side of it too, where you're like, this is going to manifest.
Yeah.
And
Or every time
it's
eclipses
magic.
come around, everybody gets so
Yeah.
worked up over the eclipses. It's like, how old are you? You're like, oh, I'm
I know.
37. Like, okay, you're 37. You know how many eclipses you've lived through in your life?
I know. And it's
Like,
magic.
yes,
you know.
a new energy could kick off from this. Yes, it might change things a little bit, but it's nothing that you can't. It's nothing you can't
Yeah.
progress forward through. You know.
No, and that's what I was saying. Yeah, Miss Kiff, where he started from nothing. Right, and that's what I mean. It's like, this is absolutely like, it is like he's a teacher, and he is here to. Yes, North Node Aquarius in his message to everybody, but like just that. I think that, right, something that somebody says can, change your day, or just like anything in that maybe we don't like understand like how powerful that is, but it is. And
100%.
And it can change somebody's energy. And so that's why I'm just so grateful to like be able to, be a part of this, but that especially for him, that like he did this all on his own.
For you, because I mean, Lauren was a big reason that I decided to turn, these back on.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
I mean, I always knew that
you've done a lot.
Be. I know. I love you. We made it. We to the next initiation.
Yeah. On to the next.
And that's what it's like, right? That's why I said, I was like, we're not going to just come on here and be like, it's been all butterflies. No, because like that wouldn't even be being authentic. Like we all go through, it's just such a big time energetically for everyone. It has been since fucking 2018. But like, I just think it's beautiful that everybody that resonates and is on this path, that like, we feel you. We're here. Like we
Yeah, I say it all the time. I mean, I'm just like you all. I'm just a normal dude. Like,
and we're just trying to gain some balance.
Yeah, things go down. We just try our best.
That's all you can do, and that it's all gonna be. It's all gonna be good, But I think that having a community that you can share that with honestly and openly,
it's a
right,
blessing.
and not sugarcoating it, like that is what is like really powerful, because it's not always love and light, but if we can at least like be honest about that and like spread the light and the wisdom and all of that, then that's all that matters at the end of the day.
That's what's up.
And that we'll do more, and that we're just really grateful for all of you.
Yeah,
and we
thank
love
you
you
so
all
much.
very much.
Love and appreciate you all. And we'll be back. We'll be around.
Yeah.
More to come. Final thing is, I am taking readings. You can email me. My email is down below if you want to try and schedule one. They're $100. Mm-hmm. So discounted. And yeah, back on that. And what was the other thing I want to say? I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, the classes. I'm putting my course on my YouTube. I just have to splice my second class together because I had to re-record it. But I'm going to give my course away. And, I had one person, that didn't seem happy that they bought the course and it was going to be for free now. But I don't want to sell the course anymore. So what am I supposed to do with it? Just archive it forever? I'd rather give it away. So I really appreciate everybody's support who did buy the class. I'm not doing it to slight you or anything like that. I'm not going to sell that stuff anymore. And so it's just time to give it away. And yeah, so that beginner to reader course will get uploaded, the whole course here very soon. So if you're interested, that'll be there for everybody. And if you like it, if you go through it and you do, like, please share it with people, or, get it out there if you think it's worthwhile for people, because it'd be cool to spread that if it's, helpful. So
yeah,
just want to say that. So yeah. And, hey, all right, we're out of here.
Maybe next time we'll have a Rosie the Roo.
Maybe.
I know. Let's hope. But
all right. Much love, everybody.
love you guys, and we'll see you guys soon. Mwah. Have a beautiful weekend, and
yeah. And I'll see you guys for I am going to do sun sign horoscopes this weekend for the new Mizune.
Nice.
So,
all right.
looking forward to it. I'll see you all then.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Mwah.